Hello everyone, this is Mr. Speak, and today I'm going to be doing a review on Naruto 555 Contradiction. We cut back to what the end of last chapter, the beginning of this one, where he's preparing the Tail Beast Ball. I'm just gonna call it that. And we finally learned, like before, he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. He ends up depowering himself, and they're gonna end up having to run away. He gets saved by I don't know who village this guy is from, but anyway, it's this guy with like this rubber jutsu, and he's able to protect Naruto for a short period of time while they put him into contact with B. And I don't know exactly what B's doing. He just seems to be off in his own little world. He doesn't appear to be fighting anyone at all. In any case, they're asking him how they were able to beat the third Raikage before, and it's finally revealed. He goes into Sage mode. He preps a normal Rasengan, and he attacks the third. Their speed appears to be equal, but as they're about to clash, Naruto dodges at the last moment and uses his Rasengan on the third's arm, and the third ends up piercing himself. It's finally revealed what beat the third. It wasn't the tail beast ball, but rather it was using the third's own jutsu against him. His shield is pretty damn good, and his body's pretty damn resilient, but not against his own jutsu. So, Naruto just hit his arm, he pierced himself outright, and it destabilized him long enough for him to seal him away. And I don't know, it seemed like Kabuto was taking a more active role in this fight. It seems like he was actually, he was actually focused on that one battle, controlling the third Raikage. So that failed spectacularly. And, yeah, that battle's over. Next battle coming up, we have the guy with the giant poisonous clam versus Gaara. Gaara, I don't know, he looks pretty winded. Then again, he says this is all you can do, but he looks pretty winded. His shield, when we last cut to him, his shield looks pretty cracked and, out of sorts. Maybe that's just the limits of his powers. Maybe, that's all he needed at the time. But still, the guy that he's fighting compliments Gar. He's like, this guy's the one with the strongest shield and all that. But still, he's asking, is this all you can do? So, not a lot of development happened. The third's fight with Naruto is pretty over. Another question gets raised by that, in that, how's Naruto going to fight Sasuke? It seems at this point that the Tail Beast mode is spent, especially with that last Tail Beast ball. So, Naruto pretty much has a lot of his options closed. I mean, with the Tail Beast form, there was a lot of things he could have done with that. He might have been able to resist, like, the Genjutsu Sasuke was capable of casting and Madara was capable of casting. So, with it gone, how much of a chance is he going to stand against these guys? Don't get me wrong, Sage Mode is powerful, but will it be enough? It's uncertain at this point, to say the least. In any case, another question is going around, like, how are the ninjas going to beat this guy? Nobody seems to be able to find his location. He seems to be a good, substitute jutsu capture, in that nobody can figure out exactly where it is or where his clan is. So his clan is pretty damn big. So that's just a testament to this guy's skill. So how are they going to beat him? I'm sure we'll see that next chapter, next two chapters. We'll probably see that fight wrap up. In any case, yeah. So, the Naruto-Sasuke battle seems to be getting closer and closer, but the thing is, Madara hasn't been dealt with, Kabuto hasn't been dealt with. How is it going to be done? I mean, Naruto, don't get me wrong, there are several strong combatants out there, but Naruto and B seem to be the only guys capable of even having a shot at taking either of them down. We haven't seen Kabuto fight, but then again, he's been able to orchestrate this whole thing concerning all the Edo Tensei zombies, and yeah, I'm calling them zombies. They're not that, but still. In any case, he's been able to orchestrate this whole thing, and that's what we initially thought about. A lot of people initially thought about Orochimaru, and that he was bringing back the Hokages because he couldn't deal with it all himself. He was right, but at the same time, he was no weakling. We definitely saw that through his fight. He may have quote unquote lost the fight, but at the same time, he was still a challenge that had to be dealt with. he didn't use the cleanest methods. Obviously, again, he used Edo Tensei within the fight, but at the same time, he's no weakling. So I'm not going to say that Kabuto is one either. As for Madara, this guy's got the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, and Mangekyo Sharingan at that. So yeah, how is this going to go down? And who's going to be the one to fight him? Do you think Itachi versus Madara? I don't know. Itachi's has been shown to, break barriers with like concerning the Uchiha clan, but Madara's got his space-time jutsu, and he's probably got a whole bunch of other jutsus now. Before he possessed that. Not to mention he also has a Rinnegan, which opened up a lot more possibilities again. So yeah, I don't know. That seems like a pretty uneven fight. That would probably, I don't know. That probably wouldn't be too interesting. You think Itachi versus Sasuke at least for a little while? I mean, that'd be definitely be interesting to see how much far Sasuke has advanced. But then again, with Amaterasu and Susanoo, it's gonna carry him a lot through that fight because, as we've seen before, those were the Sharingan was the only thing that's saving his ass. He seems to be relying more and more on the Sharingan rather than his own, physical might. Let's just put it like that. Or even a Shidori. I mean, again, a lot with that fight. We saw Susanoo and we caught him cloaking with Amaterasu. Now we get a glimpse of his new Susanoo. Definitely, yeah, a lot more evil looking in appearance than his former Susanoo, even Itachi Susanoo. Then again, Itachi Susanoo wasn't as foreboding in appearance. In any case, we see it. It's a lot more evil now, and it's armed with Amaterasu weapons. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult fight. If he gets touched with it, the flames can't be dispelled with a few exceptions. Let's just put it like that. So yeah, it's more or less how it's gonna go down. Somewhat of a slow chapter in that it was just the end of a fight, and it wasn't not even in terms of the fight. Not a lot happened. He failed. He was trying to figure out how he beat him. He tested out a theory. The theory was correct. Sealed away. 5 parts, but they're reasonably small parts in the overall fight. They're major in terms of how the fight went down, but still small, very small, short parts, and actual how they actually play out. Let's just put it out there. I keep forgetting these words that will sum up my point quite nicely, and it's annoying me. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we're gonna have to deal with in this chapter and upcoming chapters. Comment, rate, subscribe below. Uh, yeah, this is really unique. Do you think like the other of the big three are gonna come out this fast? I mean, this is really fast. This is early Tuesday. Well, not early Tuesday, but morning Tuesday. So, is something going on in Japan? Does anybody know anything about that? Is like a holiday or something, or is this just a quick work week or something like that? In any case, I'm gonna cut it off here. This has been Mr. Speak signing off.